Hi there. We're going to talk about this full moon and why it's going to hit you harder than ever before. So, what we're going to do is we're going to share the screen so you could see what. So, let's look and see here. A full moon is in 23 degrees Libra, and that means it's opposite or opposing the sun. All right. But what's really powerful here is there's a stellium and it's off by 1 degree, but I'm going to count that as a stellium, which means there's action packed energy in 30 degrees, but it's in the two signs of Pisces and Aries. Well, let's look at this first. So the moon is in Libra. The moon in Libra means emotions are balanced, they're people pleasing, let's negotiate, let's uh, be pleasant, no confrontation, all right? Let's just chill. And it's an air sign, which means it's intellectual, okay? The sun is in Aries. Aries is opposite of Libra. So Aries is self centered and let's take care of me. And let's start it. Let's initiate it. Let's be bold. Let's be a little bit aggressive, but we got to get it done. And it's like, let's do it and we'll think about it later. Okay. So that's the impulsiveness of the Aries energy. But it also has to do with spring and a new season, a new year. Okay. So this is when everything starts. And it takes a lot of energy for those seeds to sprout through and push through the dirt and start to grow. All right. So I like to analogize it so you could get a little picture in your mind. So, but what's right next door to the sun? It's Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron has to do with childhood trauma and pain and suffering, but you heal from it. So it's self healing. We're in the self healing mode, and we need to balance our emotions and the people pleasing type emotions, and that, let's balance it out. Let's not confront where you're saying we got to confront, you know? Well, that's the full moon, but you can't ignore the rest of the chart. With all this energy here, with the slow moving planet of Neptune in Aries just started a 165-year cycle, but it's starting with the Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, which starts a whole new astrological zodiac cycle. All right. It's not just the start of a new sign, it's a start of a new zodiac. Okay. This is extremely important. So, Neptune has to do with our spirituality, our imagination, our ways of escaping. All right. And this is for yourself. Next to it is Mercury, the messenger. It's quick energy, it's thinking, it's rational, it's information. Give me all the data. So, all this information in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, flanked next to Mercury, there's a heavy duty energy of spirituality and imagination, magic, meditation. Now's a great time to connect to your creator and source for your healing. All right. You're going to say, well, who's going to be affected most? Everybody's going to be affected because almost every sign over here is affected. For sure, We have Cancer is affected. Virgo is affected. Libra is affected. Uh, Scorpio is affected. Aquarius is affected. And Pisces and Aries is majorly affected. But if you notice these lines here, they're called aspects. This whole mass over here goes to all these other planets and points in different signs. So chances are one of your planets in your birth chart is going to be impacted by at least one of these planets. Well, what does that mean? Well, if one planet is impacted in your natal chart, that means that planet and all its aspects in your natal chart are going to be impacted by everything here. Everything. Everything is on the scene. That's why this full moon is going to be super powerful. So, what do you do during a full moon? What are you supposed to do? What ritual is attached to a full moon? It's a time to release. So, what are you going to release? You're going to release people pleasing, and you're going to get rid of all the trauma that you've been holding on to. Because look, energy flows where attention goes. If you're constantly talking about what happened to you 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, last week, and you just keep hashing it and rehashing it, stop. Stop, because it just makes the wound bigger. What do you do if you have a scab and you keep picking it? Then it bleeds. Then you pick it. Then it bleeds. Well, every time, you look at something that's not very positive in the past and you stir it up, pick it, you're going to recreate it. You're going to recreate that wound. So what do? If you're going to go into the past, look at all the great things that you've accomplished. Then you're just going to get more accomplishments. All the great people that you met, you're going to meet more great people. I cannot stress this enough, because the chart is not all negative or not all positive. You have a choice. It's your free will. How are you going to use these energies in the chart? How are you going to do that? Because Mars could be aggressive, it could be war, it could be a weapon, a gun, a knife, it could be surgery, it could be a lot of negative things, or it could be assertiveness or action driven, courage. So every sign, every planet, and every house has a positive or a negative tone to it. You choose how you're going to use it. So all these energies, and then Uranus 25 degrees Taurus, right? That's sudden and shocking opportunities. And all this over here is impacting Pluto and Neptune. Okay? So this is a time to take a look at your natal chart and see how it's going to affect you. So there's a lot to talk about, but the main thing is that this full moon has to do with yourself, your relationships, and you want to get rid of these negative, deep-rooted, maybe psychological issues, emotional issues that may be impacting this full moon on top of it, because Black Moon Lilith is here. It also has to do with your purpose, and let go of criticism and just compare your natal chart with the moon or any of these planets, because when you look at a chart, you have to look at the whole chart. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. You could always contact me through text, email. Check the little link here and get on my website if you need a reading or a forecast, and you schedule when it's convenient for you. I thank you again. Don't forget to like and share so any of your friends that will benefit from this. And don't forget now, the full moon is on the 12th, but you're probably feeling it today on the 9th when I'm recording it. So between full moon lasts about 2 to 3 days before the actual full moon on the 12th and 2 to 3 days after that. All right. And just pay attention to your emotions, release what no longer serves you. Okay. And till next time, all my love. Bye bye.